Welcome to our debate on whether UFOs represent advanced military technology or evidence of alien life. This topic has sparked intrigue and controversy for decades. To help us explore this mystery, we have a diverse panel of experts on both sides of the argument. First, we have Dr. Sarah Reynolds, a prominent ufologist and researcher dedicated to uncovering the truth behind UFO phenomena. Dr. Reynolds, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Emily. The phenomenon of UFO sightings has captivated humanity for decades. Many credible witnesses, including military personnel and civilians, have reported encounters with unidentified flying objects. Evidence from incidents like the Phoenix Lights and Rendlesham Forest suggests that we may not be alone in the universe. The technology exhibited by these crafts far exceeds our current capabilities, and the lack of thorough investigation raises serious questions about what we truly know. Our understanding of the universe is still evolving, and I argue that many of these sightings point towards extraterrestrial life. We must approach this subject with an open mind, recognizing the patterns and consistencies in these reports that transcend mere coincidence.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Next, we have James Turner, a former military whistleblower who has witnessed unexplained phenomena during his service. Mr. Turner, please share your thoughts.
Thank you, Emily. As someone who served in the U.S. military, I can tell you that my experiences opened my eyes to the extraordinary. During my time, I encountered situations that defy conventional explanations. I firmly believe that the government has hidden information regarding advanced extraterrestrial technology. When the military officials dismiss sightings without investigation, it raises red flags. We need to question why these encounters are so consistently ignored or ridiculed. The truth is out there, and I stand here to advocate for those who have experienced the unexplained. Our duty is to seek the truth and ensure that these phenomena are taken seriously.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Now, let's hear from Linda Martinez, an individual who has had a direct encounter with a UFO. Linda, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Emily. I appreciate the opportunity to share my experience. On the night I encountered a UFO, I saw something that changed my life forever. I was not alone. Hundreds witnessed the same phenomenon. It was massive, silent, and emitted lights that danced in the sky. I know what I saw, and it was unlike anything I had ever experienced. I'm here to advocate for the truth. These are not military crafts. They are visitors from another world. The emotional impact of that night continues to resonate with me, and I believe we must listen to those who have had similar encounters. It's essential to share our stories and validate our experiences.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Now, let's shift our focus to our skeptics. First up is Dr. Mark Evans, an aerospace engineer with a scientific background. Dr. Evans, please share your perspective.
Thank you, Emily. As an aerospace engineer, I can assure you that what many perceive as UFOs can often be attributed to misidentified military aircraft or atmospheric phenomena. We have to remember that the technology we have today is more advanced than most realize. Many supposed sightings can be explained through logical reasoning and scientific analysis. The absence of credible, verifiable evidence to support claims of extraterrestrial craft is a critical point. Until we have tangible proof, we should be cautious about jumping to conclusions that defy logic.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. Now, let's hear from Tom Bradley, a debunker and journalist. Mr. Bradley, your thoughts?
Thanks, Emily. Let's be honest, the allure of UFOs is captivating, but many of these stories are based on hysteria or misinformation. As a journalist, I've investigated countless cases where eyewitness accounts have been proven wrong. The media often sensationalizes these stories, leading to mass panic rather than rational discourse. We need to hold ourselves accountable to facts and evidence. Many UFO sightings can be traced back to human error, misidentification, or even deliberate hoaxes. Our focus should be on critical thinking rather than succumbing to the excitement of the unexplained.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Finally, we have Colonel Robert Hargrove, a retired military official. Colonel Hargrove, your opening statement, please.
Thank you, Emily. During my career, I've been involved in numerous investigations of UFO sightings. In many cases, what we see can be attributed to military exercises, misinterpretation of drones, or experimental aircraft. We have a responsibility to maintain national security and ensure public safety. Dismissing sightings as military craft helps to maintain peace and order. I can assure you, in my experience, there's always a reasonable explanation behind these reports. We need to approach this topic with skepticism and rely on concrete evidence.
Thank you all for your statements. Let's dive deeper into the debate. Dr. Reynolds, how do you respond to the claim that many UFO sightings can be explained as military aircraft?
While I acknowledge that some sightings can be attributed to military craft, the sheer number of consistent eyewitness accounts across different regions suggests a broader phenomenon. For instance, the Rendlesham Forest incident involved credible military personnel who described a craft that did not resemble anything in the military's inventory. Additionally, many of these witnesses reported seeing maneuvers and capabilities that our current technology simply does not possess. We must consider the possibility of advanced extraterrestrial technology.
However, the lack of physical evidence from these claims raises serious questions. If these crafts are as advanced as you claim, where is the tangible proof? Photographs can be manipulated, and memories can be fallible. In the scientific community, we rely on empirical evidence, not anecdotal stories.
Yet, the U.S. government has admitted to covering up certain encounters. If there's nothing to hide, why the secrecy? The government's reluctance to investigate these incidents only fuels the belief that something extraordinary is happening. Many of us have risked our careers by speaking out, and we deserve to be heard.
Colonel Hargrove, given the government's past involvement, do you think there might be valid reasons behind this lack of transparency?
Every military has protocols for handling sensitive information, especially concerning national security. Sometimes it's simply about managing public perception and preventing mass hysteria. Many reported incidents can be easily explained with existing technology, and it's crucial to focus on what can be verified.
But what about the human experience? When thousands see the same lights in the sky, it's not just a figment of our imagination. My encounter was real, and it's crucial to listen to those who have had these experiences. We need to recognize that there's a larger narrative at play, one that includes people like me who have seen things that defy logic.
Or perhaps you're conflating unrelated events. Groupthink can lead to collective misinterpretation. We need to approach this with a critical mind, not an emotional one. A shared experience doesn't automatically validate a claim, especially when countless factors can influence perception.
But emotional testimonies often reflect genuine encounters. People like Linda are sharing their truth, and those stories matter. Can we truly dismiss them without consideration? When multiple witnesses report similar phenomena independently, it suggests a common reality that cannot be overlooked.
Mr. Bradley, how do you address the growing number of witnesses who claim to have had UFO encounters?
While the number of witnesses is increasing, it's essential to remember that people can misidentify everyday objects, such as drones, weather balloons, or even satellites. The phenomenon of false memory can also play a significant role. We should be more skeptical and demand rigorous investigation rather than jumping to conclusions based on popular sentiment.
But
Yet, many of these witnesses, include highly trained professionals, military personnel, pilots, and scientists. Are you suggesting that they are all mistaken or lying? These individuals have nothing to gain from coming forward. They simply want answers. It's our duty to listen to them and investigate their claims seriously.
I respect the backgrounds of these witnesses, but we must maintain a scientific approach. Just because someone is credible doesn't mean their experience is valid. Even the best can misinterpret or misidentify what they see, especially under stress or in unusual conditions.
Science is important, but so are personal experiences. When you see something inexplicable, it fundamentally alters your perspective on reality. I urge everyone to consider the emotional and psychological aspects of these encounters, not just the scientific.
Colonel Hargrove, do you think that addressing these personal experiences could lead to a more open dialogue about UFOs within the military?
Absolutely, but there needs to be a structured way to approach these claims. We can't just accept every story at face value. There must be a thorough investigation into credible reports, but we also need to differentiate between legitimate concerns and sensationalism. And how do we balance skepticism with curiosity? The possibility of extraterrestrial life challenges our understanding of humanity's place in the universe. Ignoring that possibility does a disservice to the potential for discovery.
Let's explore this concept further. What would it take for the skeptics to change their perspective on UFOs?
For me, tangible evidence, a physical artifact, verifiable data, or a credible video that withstands scrutiny would change my perspective. The scientific method is built on reproducibility and evidence.
Then perhaps it's time for the scientific community to invest more resources into investigating these claims rather than dismissing them outright. The technology and knowledge are advancing. Why not apply that to exploring these phenomena?
I would argue that the burden of proof is on those making extraordinary claims. Until we have credible, scientifically backed evidence, we should remain cautious. However, I am open to revisiting this discussion if new evidence emerges.
Let's not forget that the emotional weight of these experiences often drives people to seek answers. This isn't just about proving something, it's about understanding our place in the universe and the shared experiences that connect us.
Let's wrap up with closing statements. Dr. Reynolds, please.
Thank you, Emily. We stand on the brink of understanding something monumental about our universe. Dismissing eyewitness accounts and credible evidence hinders our search for the truth. We must keep our minds open to the possibility that we are not alone, as the universe is vast and full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered.
Thank you, Dr. Reynolds. Mr. Turner, your closing statement.
I urge everyone to question the narrative presented by those in power. The truth is out there, and it's time we explored the possibility that we are being visited. I stand by the belief that these crafts are evidence of advanced extraterrestrial life, and we owe it to ourselves to investigate further.
Thank you, Mr. Turner. Ms. Martinez, your closing thoughts?
Witnessing a UFO changed my life, and I believe we must trust those experiences. We owe it to ourselves and future generations to seek the truth behind these phenomena. Let's continue to explore the possibility of alien life, recognizing the importance of our shared experiences.
Thank you, Ms. Martinez. Now to our skeptics. Dr. Evans, your closing statement.
While I appreciate the passion of my fellow debaters, we must rely on science and logic. Until we have concrete evidence, it's prudent to remain skeptical and seek rational explanations for what we see in the sky. The burden of proof lies with those making extraordinary claims.
Thank you, Dr. Evans. Mr. Bradley, your final thoughts?
I echo Dr. Evans's sentiment. The fascination with UFOs is entertaining, but we must remain grounded in reality. Let's not get swept away by sensational stories without proper investigation. Our focus should be on facts and evidence.
Thank you, Mr. Bradley. Colonel Hargrove, your closing statement?
Every sighting has a cause, and in my experience, that cause is often tied to our own technology. We owe it to our safety and security to approach this topic with caution and reason. Proper investigation is necessary, but we must also remember that not everything unexplained is extraterrestrial.
Thank you all for a lively and insightful debate. It's clear that the topic of UFOs remains polarizing, with believers advocating for the possibility of extraterrestrial life and skeptics emphasizing the importance of scientific evidence. While the skeptics presented strong points, the passionate testimonies from our believers resonated with the audience, leaving us with much to ponder. As we explore this intriguing subject, let's remember that the quest for truth is what drives our curiosity. Join us next time for another exciting episode as we delve into the Betty and Barney Hill abduction, a modern mystery. Don't forget to follow us for more intriguing discussions on the unexplained.